So like call for scores workshop, and we sent out a call for scores for our Spark Ensemble, and Spark Ensemble is a new group that has been formed, and I think you've seen a lot of the ensemble so far. We have Gavin here, Matthew, and we also have Tracy and Mike. But yeah, this is a group of really talented performers, and really lucky that they're here to play some music for us today. And the winners of the Call for Scores workshop include Tony Lam. And Tony here is a Canadian composer whose music has been performed internationally and was recently nominated for the 2024 Dora Maver Moore Award. And that is our introduction.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go yeah. And as one of the co-chairs of this year's CIM-S, the Tang Company in Singapore has generously donated a hardcover copy of the guide to the chosen composers for the Call of Scores. So both Tony Leung and Ryan W. will also be receiving this. And so I would like to take a picture with him now and present this to him.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now you go. Okay, I gotta study some now.
So now I'm gonna let the ensemble and the composer take it away.
Okay. Thank you for coming. So this piece will be played in its entirety tonight at the concert. Okay, so hopefully you can come hear the actual thing. I just want to walk through some of the ideas during this for this composition, and I specifically wrote it for this symposium because there's a specific theme, right? The past, the future, and the past, present, and future. So, so the title. Okay, so I don't. Some of you may have seen the program notes, but I'll walk through this. I have a microphone already. Well, I have for recording, but you can hear me okay? I will speak up if okay. All right. So if you've been following Chinese music, the moon is very important, right? Like you have moon this, moon that, autumn fields of the moon festival. So, and it's always depicted perfect, right? So you have examples that I quote some of these tunes so that to reference the past, so that you have some reference, and then I'll treat it in some way, right? So some of the selections that I chosen, like you'll hear like is the春江花月夜, that's one piece like spring. I guess it's like Blossom on Moonlit River. So that's one thing. And then you have also平湖秋月, which is autumn moon over calm lake, right? So etc. So the moon is very important. So being a rebel, right? I will it's not always round. We know that, like it's not always, right? And so I also referenced that in 2024. We had in the news there was astronauts who were sent to the moon for supposed to be a week, but they actually end up there 9 months. If you can imagine I don't know, I can't imagine the feeling anyway. But so the idea is that you go there, like you're so close to the moon, is it really beautiful around? If you're stuck there, you don't know when you're coming back, right? So that's the kind of the present and reference, I suppose. And then, of course, we're so glad that they actually come back home, right? And so I end off the piece with a lullaby, with my own lullaby, but also a reference to another Cantonese lullaby, Yu Gong Gong. Actually, before that, about the平湖秋月. So in this piece, I try to offer some room for the performers to put their ideas or make them do extra things that they don't normally do, or So one of the things that okay, I will start with the first section, then I'll go into the specific section. So then first section, I quote the 春江花月夜. So as you know, not if you know that it's a famous PayPal piece, right? I'll just take a little piece of it, but how I treated it is that I will do a very quick modulation, which we don't have time to, we don't want to spend the time to do it. You can hear in the concert, but at least I want to ask the performers to play from beginning up to letter A. Is that okay? Yeah. When they're ready. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So you hear that section, that's the main theme, and then we treat it in different keys, I guess, of course. So after that, I'll have a section that I use the quotation of the平湖秋月. So it's, the title is of a calm lake and all that, right? And from what I read from ancient poets, they like to drink wine, right? And get intoxicated, which inspires their whole writing, I suppose. So I thought I'll ask Gavin, a erhu player, to do a little bit of acting, perhaps, like to play as if he was getting more drunk, or he's drunk already, but he's getting, So which require him to extra skill of like trying to play not in rhythm, play not in tune so much as well, which is very difficult for him, right, to not play in tune. So, but I will try, So anyway, I guess it makes more sense visually, but if it was recorded, people won't know why he's playing on tune, right? But anyway, if you can just play, just from letter C, until I stop you, okay? Sure. Is that okay? Continue. They're the sober ones. Okay? Back to. Okay, good. Okay, so that's the idea of that, okay? And now we get to the fun parts. Okay? So as part of this kind of reference to the space accident, I guess, I asked them to ask the players to perform try to imitate like a machine breaking down, okay? All right, so first I asked the ruan to insert a foreign object into their instrument, like safely, but into here. So I asked her to use a card or a paper, right? Which people, it doesn't hurt the instrument. And I've asked her to put it on, maybe to touch three of the four strings. So the one string is naturally vibrating normally, but the three other ones are not. So if she plays it, you get like a machine that, if it's rotating, let's say, it would be working, but it's not quite, right? So if you can play a little bit of that. You get that, right? Something like that. Yeah. Okay. And then for the erhu, it's a little bit difficult because anyway. But the goal is try to. He also put a card in between the strings. But I don't want to make him sound like he's like a starting beginner erhu player screeching, right? So I'll ask him to play sort of softly. Ambient, like more ambient, but with some, let's see what he can produce. Maybe I can hear more of the note, like maybe stick the card, in the angle, like more, to hear more of the noise, but anyway, you get the idea. It's really depends on what happens on stage. And then I'll have, for the I just simply ask him to use his key clicks to make some sound. Like it's just, I don't know what noise he can make, but well, besides keep, and then the piano, which is really a machine. Maybe can we just play a little bit of just play by yourself. I mean, because we don't need to do the E, just letter D by yourself. Or D, okay, basically letter D, which is the key clicks plus the piano. Whenever doing. Okay, good. So that's the noise part, and then there'll be other surprises which you have to come to the concert to hear. Okay, I won't let everything out of the bag, but if you have the score, you can read about what's going to happen. All right. So anyway, and then there's a lullaby, which one of the lullabies is Yu Gong Gong, right? So which is very familiar to most Cantonese people. Anyway, and then I have my own lullaby, and that's how it ends off, right? So I think I want, before I open up for questions, I let maybe, you have anything to add, musicians? Otherwise I can open it up to them. Okay, so maybe I'll take questions, if, as a way to continue the conversation. Okay, anyway, okay, keep talking then. So from the title, I also noticed, I just use I use the word ain't because it's a North American slang, right? Which gives it a reference, so like a North American reference. So if you can see, this composition is more of an eclectic way that you would, I guess, a Westerner would, or European, or a North American composer might approach something, because you write an entirely brand new piece with, you may not, there's no necessarily any reference to other pieces, right? So in this way, I kind of a way to draw from the past and then put my own fingerprint on it, right? Let's see, okay. So maybe I'll play a little section then. Let's play a little bit of a lullaby then. Okay, if we can do. Let's do it at I.
I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
I?
Letter I. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop here. Do you want to do J? Is it okay to do J a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll do a little bit from J, okay? Yeah. Okay, so here how yeah. So here I mix the two. The 月光光 and also my lullaby together, and then ends off eventually. So I understand there's 5 more minutes, so I'm cover most of the things. So. Okay, I'm all fine. Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. And round of applause for
Okay.